What's going on, people? It's your boy calwu. Welcome to another episode of planetwu. I appreciate y'all for rocking with me. If y'all haven't already, please like, share, and subscribe to the video. It's the best way you can support my channel, and I appreciate y'all so much. I got more stuff coming. Today is another early review. I think this might be the last one. I know by the end of this week, but I think this is the last one. Because I think that these are the last batch of anime to get the 3 episodes. I got Eden Zero, To Your Eternity, and Gloomy the Naughty Grizzly. First on the list is Eden's Zero. The synopsis behind this anime is: at Granbell Kingdom, an abandoned amusement park, Shiki has lived his entire life among machines. But one day, Rebecca and her cat companion Happy appears at the park's front gate. This anime, just like every anime from this creator, shares characters. So, Shiki, the main character, looks a lot like Natsu from Fairy Tail, which is another one of his animes. But Shiki is one of those guys where, like, in a lot of his animes, the theme of power of friendship is like, is like one of the things which is very prominent in shonens. But the difference with this one is he doesn't have any friends really, because he lived on a planet with machines his whole life. And his grandfather, who was also a machine, was like, yeah, one of these days you're gonna leave this planet, you're gonna go out there and you're gonna make a bunch of friends. Friends are important. Go make a bunch of friends. And Shiki has this special ability that's an ancient ability called an ether gear, where you see all these tattoos come across his body, and his body surges with mana, and he can manipulate different elements. The character that I mentioned prior who shows up, Rebecca is very reminiscent of Lucy from Fairy Tail as well. Rebecca is a VTuber in this anime, so like she's like a YouTuber, she's a VTuber, and she travels around and shoots really cool videos on different planets, like where her and Happy exploring planets and kind of talking about different things, and to gain like her popularity, and this is how she get money and how she takes care of herself. Now Happy, we've all seen Happy. If you've seen Fairy Tail, you've seen Happy, who is also with Lucy in Fairy Tail. And if I'm not mistaken, Happy was also in Rave Masters. I haven't seen Rave Masters in a long time, but I think Happy was in Rave Masters as well. And Happy is a cat, a flying cat, so a cat with wings that's very happy-go-lucky, always very outgoing and very loving, and makes a great companion. And Happy has been Rebecca's companion since Rebecca was a child or orphan. The next character we run into in these first 3 episodes is Princess Elise. Princess Elise straight up has Urza vibes all the way through. She looks like Urza. She kind of got Urza's mannerisms. And Princess Elise is seen looking for Shiki. For what reason, they have yet to reveal. We don't know why. And then we have the mysterious celestial entity known as Mother. Mother is this giant blue being that lives far out in the cosmos that's only been seen once. And Mother, supposedly, if you see her, she's supposed to grant you one wish. And she keeps an eye on the universe, and she sees Shiki as well. And she acknowledges him, and like the anime is just really dope so far. Another thing in the anime that you notice from other of his creations is Plu. Plu is like the little snowman with the drill nose. He was definitely in Fairy Tail. He was definitely in Rave Masters. A character that you see a lot of in a lot of his creations. And in most of his stories early on, this guy's ability to tell stories early, like his early storytelling ability, is freaking amazing. Like his early storytelling ability is top notch. It's just when things go on too long is when they get kind of blah. And yeah, I just hope Eden Zero isn't one of those ones that go too long and then you feel kind of like, this junk dumb. I wish it would stop. I wish it would go away. Because it's really good so far. Next anime is To Your Eternity. To Your Eternity. I said this in a Facebook post a few weeks ago that this is the saddest anime I've seen. First episode, like that junk is extremely sad, and then like episode 2 is extremely sad. And even though episode 3 gave us like our first point of happiness, like, oh, this is great, there's still some sadness there because you just don't know what's gonna happen. Like, so let me give you the rundown. The rundown in the anime is a celestial being lets out a immortal being in the form of a light onto the planet to kind of learn and understand and learn about things. When the planet, the light being doesn't have any emotions, don't have no knowledge or nothing. So when it first comes, it touches a rock and it turns into a rock, and it stays this rock for X amount of time. They don't give a specific time, but it's this rock for a while. Then a dying, wounded dog falls on top of the rock, and it turns into that wounded dog, and then it returns back to its home, where it finds a boy living in a ran down, abandoned village by himself. Upon seeing this, the boy is like, "Hey, you came back." He's like, he's taking a role of the dog, and he's like, "Yeah, man, yes, you came back." It's like, "I'm not lonely anymore." So, they eat and they kind of chill and warm up, and he's like, "Yeah, this used to be your favorite, man. Like, come on, eat it up." Things of that nature. And you see him, he's like, "Yeah, everybody in the village left. Everybody who could move in the village did, and the ones who didn't stay behind. So I had to stay behind and take care of all the sick and the old people. And now that everybody's dead, I'm here by myself." And he was like, "Remember, you didn't want me to go with them because you wanted me to stay here." And, so it's kind of like, damn, that's fucked. So then they set out on this adventure together, like, "Yeah, this is about to be great. We about to leave out. We about to go on this adventure together. Everything's about to be fantastic. Let's go." So they go out into the treacherous snow to figure out what's about to happen, try and find out the path of where their loved ones went. And upon doing this, they see rocks with signs on it, tell them to go this way, tell them not to go that way. And he's excited, like, "Yeah, day one, yes, it's great." Set up the little tent, stay in it. Next one, day 2. "Yes, this is great, man, blah, 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 blah." Find it, set up the tent, boom. But every time he sets up the tent, you kind of see his body a little more worn down. His hands look like they're a little frostbitten. And his dog is right next to him, or this entity in the form of his dog is right next to him. And it just keeps going and going until he injures his leg. So he injures his leg, and then he finds a wagon with everybody that left. He see their wagons all broken up and stuff. So apparently something bad happened. They died. I don't know if everybody died, but something bad, extremely bad happened. It totally killed his spirit. And he's like, "Yeah, let's just go back." So they go back to the crib, and he's sick. And it's not just the cold, but you can tell the wound that he got in his leg is now infected. And he dies. And it's like, bro, why would y'all do that? And that jump made me extremely sad. And then the dog touched him and turned into him. And then set out for better, to learn more in better lands. And the spirit entity ends up running into, he dies a bunch of times. He dies from hunger. He dies from thirst. He don't understand, this is why he's dying. But he's just dying repeatedly. Heals, keeps going. Dies again, heals, keep going. Get mauled by a big-ass bear. Die, keep going. Then he runs into the character, he runs into this little girl named March. And March is a very sweet, outgoing little girl that's happy-go-lucky, that's bubbly, and wants to grow up and be a mother and have a lot of children and just live a great, fantastic life. And her tribe is look like an ancient Native American tribe, and they have this thing where if you don't have any facial, only people with facial markings are children. And once you reach of age to where they consider you an adult, they remove your facial markings. So she got dark markings over her, she got a face marking here, covering her forehead, partly over her eye. eyelids, and then she got markings on her cheek, and her little brother got markings on his face, and things of that nature. So there's this clan amongst the different tribes that go around, and they go around in a circle, and every year they sacrifice somebody to a god, and she was chosen to be sacrificed. And it's like this whole ritual, and she's like, I don't want to die, I want to grow up, I want to become an adult. Why are y'all doing this to me? And it's like, well, if we don't choose you, we don't choose your best friend, which is this other little girl in the village she played with, or we gonna choose your little brother. So now she has this like sense of like, you know what, damn, I actually got to do this. And just like I said, just I don't want to give too much. The anime is super dope. It's extremely freaking good. The storytelling is very masterful. I love watching the spirit entity go through these learning experiences as he meets new people, and like he starts to gain emotion and understand what death is, and understand what danger is, and understand what pain is, and things of that nature. And it just gets really freaking good, and it's really dope. And if you ain't watching it, you should most definitely be watching it. And the last on this list is an anime short called Gloomy the Naughty Grizzly. It releases every week. Each episode is about a minute and a half to about 3 minutes. And it's hilarious. It's about a kid named Pitty-kun and his pet grizzly bear named Gloomy. Gloomy is a pink grizzly bear. And each episode kind of lines up like a rule or a law of like having a grizzly bear, living with a grizzly bear, and Pitty-kun getting fucked up at the end. Simply put. To the point where in the first episode it was kind of like, yeah, never turn your back on a grizzly bear and run, because they get aggressive and they'll attack you. So they kind of watching this on the TV, and then the doorbell rings, and him and the bear looks at each other, and he gets up real slow, and he walks to the door, and Gloomy just get his ass, bow, just get in his shit and just start mauling him. He's like, but I didn't run, and then like the episode kind of ends there, and it's hilarious. And they do something like that every single episode. It's hilarious. Like I said, it's quick, a minute and a half, maybe to 3 minutes, if that. Yeah, and it's dope. You should watch it. And yeah, that's pretty much it for the early review, for this early review. Once again, I appreciate y'all. This is calwu from planetwu signing off. Peace. Welcome to the Lions Den. Ragnarok on Vikings on our way to greener pastures, attacking Bay Packers. Bear witness to the greatest. When you see me, success.